Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chickens here. We're back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we've all had a chance to look at the tech tree for Season 50. So we're going to try to break down what I think is going to be the day one path. Guys, if you haven't already, I do appreciate it. You subscribe to the channel. And big shout out to those of you using the code CHICKEN in the shop. You're going to grab instant training or anything else like that for this season. Because I think it's going to be a fun one. And with no Admiral's Key, you know, everybody should play. So you guys haven't seen the sneak peek. We got a lot of crazy stuff happening. So I think some of it is going to affect the day one path. So things like, mostly the fact that we're going to get free keys every 2 days. So that just makes it more important to get to the next rank and then just make sure that you stay there. So it's not as important to get from, you know, iron to gold and then get to like 17 and 18 the next day and unlock that kind of stuff, especially with the amount of keys and tokens we're going to have. So I think what we want to make sure that we're doing is not that since we have extra keys, unlock a bunch of extra stuff, max out everything. You know, we still want to be patient. And, you know, that's always the best way to play Warships. So I think what makes the most sense, I think it's going to be really defensive early on. And then it's going to start to change into a bit more of a, a bit more of a tech race to see who can get into 5 and get into 6 the fastest. Because I think 6, especially based on the deck layouts, I think 6 is going to beat 5. Even if it's got a little bit less defenses. So something to take in mind. But at the same time, I think what's going to happen, especially early on, is if you want to make it to gold, you're probably going to need all the defenses. So we're probably going to have to get to 3 ER. I think 3 ER building health will be our first push point. And that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. I might skip mortars for the first little bit. The thing is, with people using tanks and Zukas, mortars will actually be really good. But if you're not stopping all tanks with, you know, having extra cannons and stuff, then, you know, that might be a problem. So it's kind of pick your poison. You're either going to be a little bit worse against tanks or a little bit worse against Zukas. And with mines, I think we should be able to stop Zukas, especially because there's not everyone is going to have flares. So just kind of hashing this out as we go. I think mines will be more important than mortars. So I'm thinking I'm going to go Zuka to cannon to rocket launchers. Get the rockets up at tick 3 at least. Then troop health, then go to the third engine, okay? So that's kind of right out of the gate stuff. And then what do we have? I think the next stop is we got to get building health right away. Maybe hold off on the gunboat energy for now. And then we'll go back. We'll go through critters, through warriors. And then I think really what we need to do, guys, is I think we need to probably start rushing from there, depending on what rank we're able to stay in, right? Like if we're in rank 16 with no problem at this point, then I would start to rush to bombardiers to get Scorcher Bomber and then maybe backfill for troop damage and building damage. But again, with all the extra keys and stuff, it's going to be tough to compete. I think it's going to be one of those seasons where there's going to be a lot of opportunities to hide. Because if you wait an extra day, you're now getting, 20, 40, 60 keys from your chest, and you're getting the extra 50 keys. So you're getting 90 keys. You're getting 100 keys almost every day. Or you're getting 150 keys every 2 days, depending on what your rank is at. Then, that's a lot of tech. That's, 150. That's troop damage. That's building damage. That's artillery. All in the same day. So, yeah. And even with the extra tokens that we're getting, I feel like we're still going to be kind of, with having rockets early, with having all these stat nodes early, with having artillery, somewhat early. It's not just about maxing out everything, right? We got to wait and see what path we need to go. So, yeah, I think this is going to be the biggest. This is where, whatever decision you make at this point in the tech tree is going to separate the people that get ahead versus the people that get stuck. But the cool thing about it is, too, there's multiple ways to do it. Like, you want to go defensive, you can go flamethrowers, boom cannons, grab the DBD, slowly work your way up to 6 on shock mines, and then go over here and grab Sky Shield. Or if you really want to rush it, you can skip most of that stuff. You can go boom cannon to shock mine to try to get out to, I don't know, maybe rocket choppers first. Or, you know, you can play the long game and just simply unlock everything. Or you can go the warrior route and go like this and down here to Sky Shield to protect yourself against other warrior players that are pushing ahead. So it's really going to depend. It's going to depend on what other people are doing, what other people are using. So we'll skim ahead a little bit. It does get pretty hard to predict the tech tree at this point, but I mean, this is the biggest part. Like, these couple days between here and here, I think are going to be the biggest point in the tech tree for everybody for pretty much the entire season. So, I mean, you got to pick your troops here, right? You got to pick your troops. Are you either going... I think what makes the most sense is Scorcher, Cryos, and Rockets. I mean, in there, somewhere, you're going to have to pick some sort of vacuum, even though Kavan is right around the corner, and Reifman, you know, they go with Kavan. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards that top path, because I feel like Scorchers are going to be pretty good, since we don't have heavy choppers for a long time. So, they're going to be a nice meat shield to have. And Kavan, he can resurrect a Scorcher, right? So they might work really well together. Maybe. It just depends. So once we get through there, then we're just kind of picking our hero and then going to 6. In here, we do have some more defense. We got a little bit of troop health. We got a med kit. We got some GBEs. So this becomes another, like, basically from 4 ER almost into 6 ER. It's nothing but offense, because there's so much defense at the earliest point of the tech tree that as we come into 6, it's nothing but offense, which is kind of cool. And then as we go down here, I think the most important thing to do is get that cryo bomb. Cryo bombs are incredibly helpful, not only for Seekers, but for everything, because, I mean, they basically freeze, clear all the mines, and stun the whole base for a pretty long time. So having cryo bombs means, you know, it's going to become base race with whatever troops that you're using. Like, you're just going to, whoever can clear it the fastest is going to win. It's not going to be, Cryo Bomb kind of takes out the fizzle factor. It can't really be a fizzle season with a lot of with having Cryo Bombs. They're that strong. Excuse me. That's why we typically don't see them in warships, because they're very, very strong. I mean, they're kind of at the end of the tech tree here, but, you know, we're going to get them pretty soon, right? Like, you could save up your keys and stuff, and as long as you're reaching the minimum tech levels required that we talked about yesterday, I mean, you could get cryo bombs and heavy choppers by, like, the end of week 2, probably, because we're going to have so many extra keys and stuff. So, and, you know, Seekers are at the end of the tech tree, but again, everyone's going to reach the end of the tech tree very quickly, so rushing to Seekers with having cryo bombs and getting a 150 troop damage, that could be the play. That could be the play. So you guys let me know in the comments what you're leaning towards. I know there was a lot of feedback on the sneak peeks yesterday, but in terms of a day 1 path strictly, like, what do you guys think? What are you leaning towards? I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. A little bit all over the place, some of it to be determined, but I think that's going to be the safe route for the day 1 of the Big 50, Season 50. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch the next one, guys. Check it out. Bang, bang.